world nation, something which nobody thought was even possible. Americans deserve a campaign based on the issues. We try and keep it on the issues. And God has now spared my life. It must have been God. Thank you. Not once, but twice.
You the devil.
There are those that say he did it because Trump is going to turn this state around. He's going to turn this country around. He's going to make America great again. And maybe.
King out. Nobody cares, King.
And we're going to bring back religion into our country. Bring it back.
I'm live right now on YouTube watching the news.
These encounters with death have not broken my will. They
there as well.
Have really given me a much bigger and stronger mission. They've only hardened my resolve to use my time on earth to make America great again for all Americans, to put America first. Going to put America first. Earlier today, I was honored to receive the endorsement of the rank and file membership of the Teamsters. I love the Teamsters. They delivered all that concrete for those buildings I built in New York. They delivered the big, heavy
book and manuscript library. It's been carved in the book, named after him, is now hailed at
Yale
University.
You know, this hasn't happened in so many decades. We won the overwhelming majority of the local chapters and the members, and as a result, the national organization has refused to endorse the Democrat candidate for the first time in many, many decades. And I also want to thank Teamsters President Sean O'Brien, amazing man, and all of the incredible rank and file Teamsters. It was a surprise. It's automatic. They endorse the Democrats, automatic for many, many decades. But you know what? They said, they looked at her, they said, we're not going there. I'm sorry.
Right.
These are tough people. And together we will secure our borders. We will protect our workers. We will defend our jobs. We will rebuild our country with American skill and American pride and American labor.
Wilfred Vonage stumbled upon this bizarre manuscript in a...
And just as a little side note, we should give them a round, especially because of what they and how they voted today. If they voted the other way, I wouldn't give them a round.
Oh, 35-38.
But the Teamsters built out this beautiful stadium for tonight's event. Thank you, Teamsters. Thank you. They did a great job. To every hardworking American, whether you live in a red state, a swing state, or a state with a failed Democrat rule, this year we need to elect all Republicans up and down the ballot. We have to clean out and straighten out our country. With your vote, we are going to rescue our country. We are going to rescue our Democrat-run states. We are going to start by saving the great state of New York. Is that good? When I told some people in Washington, yeah, I'm going up to New York, we're doing a campaign speech, they said, what do you mean New York? You can't ever, nobody can win. Republicans can't win. I said, I can win New York, and we can win New York. We're going to win New York. And if you vote for me, I'm going to reduce your taxes, reduce your crime, and reduce your levels of stress. You have a lot of stress. The only thing that I will increase are your incomes, and your love for your state will come roaring back again.
Love it.
Throughout American history, from generation to generation, New York has always set the standard for American life, and they have. It's been a high standard, too. Our cities were the center of business, arts, culture, our streets, ports, waterways, and they were the arteries of American commerce. They were absolute arteries. And our towns like Uniondale, Levittown, Hicksville, Huntington. These were great, great towns where you grew up and you loved and you stayed. But look at what has happened to New York and the other states, all run by radical left Democrats, every single one of them. Our heavy industries have exported overseas, and our middle class has been eviscerated. Right here at home, been eviscerated. Housing costs are out of control. Inflation has cost a typical family $28,000. Think of it, in less than 4 years, $28,000. And we filthy encampments. We have horrible, disgusting, dangerous, filthy encampments of junkies and homeless people living in places that our children used to play Little League baseball, which they don't get to play very much anymore, do they? Over the past 3 years in New York City, there has been a 29% increase in robbery, a 36% increase in felony assault, a 42% increase in grand larceny, a 75% increase in carjackings. Did you buy a nice car lately? Well, 200 police officers leave the NYPD, New York's finest. I always say, I knew it well. New York's finest. They leave every single month, 200 people a month. Incredible people. They're incredible people. The trains and subways are squalid and unsafe. The median of our highway, all those medians, they spend all that money, they're falling down, they're rotting. Businesses are fleeing. The mobs of illegal migrants are being put up in luxury hotels at your expense, while our great veterans live on the freezing or steaming sidewalks right outside the main entrance to where the migrants enter their hotel. Think of that. Think of it. We have veterans lying on the street, squalid, lying on the street, sometimes freezing, sometimes it's hot, it's summer. And they're looking at people just came into our country, and they're going up to the 17th floor of their suite. How crazy has our country become? And can you imagine what those veterans, when they watch this, must be saying? But listen to this. Can you also imagine what the migrants must be thinking? They're saying, can you believe this? We just came from a place, in many cases, they were in prisons, and now they're living in hotel suites while our veterans are living on the street. And so I say to the people of New York, with crime at record levels, with terrorists and criminals pouring in, and with inflation eating your hearts out, vote for Donald Trump. What the hell do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? Think of it. What the hell do you have to lose? You know, some of you remember that was a phrase that I used for our black population years ago in 2016. I said, with the worst housing conditions, the worst education, the worst this, the worst that, the most crime. I went through 12 different things, and it wasn't on the sheets. And I'm saying, boy, that's really terrible. And I said, and I was at like 2%, not too good. And I said to the black population gathered in front of me, vote for Trump. What the hell do you have to lose? I said that, same thing. And you know what happened?
We won.
I got eviscerated when I went backstage. But I'm not like Biden where he takes, I fight back with my people. Remember, we still signed the check. They said, sir, that's a terrible thing to have said. I said, when you said, what the hell do you have to lose? It's terrible, it's demeaning, it's horrible. I said, but it's true. You know what happened? The next day, I picked up 10 points with the black population. And now, because of all we've done,
Energy, what's up?
we're at the highest level of black support in the history of the Republican Party. And by the way, the Hispanic support, do we have any Hispanics?
Of course you do.
The Hispanic support is off the charts, and they don't know what the hell to do about it. It's off the charts. And we just had some great polling come out. I think the most accurate poll over the last 8 or 9 years was Rasmussen. They just came out with a poll that we're 5 up. We're 5 up. 5 up. We should be 35 up, to be honest with you. But, you know, some people can't break an old habit. That's really what it is. So I say to you, vote for Trump, and I will turn it around very quickly with 4 more years of Kamala Harris. New York State will be like a third world nation if it isn't already. It is. I think it is. With Trump, the Empire State will once again be the envy of the entire world.
Absolutely. That's what we want to hear.
We will have no crime, only success.
All bullshit.
And unlike your current radical Democrat regime, I'm not driven by partisan ideology. I'm driven by results, and I'm driven by New York common sense. It's common sense, right? Right? It's common sense. You know, I like to say the party, this is a great party. I like to say the party is really, you know, we're conservative and all that, right? Who knows? You know what we are? We're really people with common sense. We need walls. We need good elections. We want low taxes. We want great police officers that are well taken care of. We don't want to defund the police. We're the party of common sense more than anything else. And it's picked up a lot of steam. It's true. My first week back in the Oval Office, I will clean up and call up your governor and mayors all across your state, and I will tell them it's time to work together. They're largely Democrats. It's time to work together for the good of the people. Going to do it. And despite all of the persecution I've endured from the corrupt judicial system in New York, it's a corrupt system. I love the people of this state, and I want to give back. I want to give back to you. I've had a great life. I want to give back to you. We're going to give it back to you. We're going to make this city and we're going to make this state incredible again. Together, we will rebuild our roads, bridges, highways, and airports. They're falling apart. They're falling down. We will renovate New York subway. Oh, they're beautiful. I used to go to school in the subway. Can you believe it? I mean, I like to say it's not so long ago, but it probably is. What do you think, Bruce? I guess it is. But my parents would drop me off at a subway, and I'd go to Union Turnpike, or I'd go to wherever They had no fear that I was going to be disappearing. They would take me to a subway, put me on, and say, bye, darling, bye. If you do that today, you have about a 75% chance that you'll never see your child again. What the hell has happened here? What has happened? We will renovate the New York subway so that the greatest city in the world finally has, again, the greatest transit system anywhere in the world. You have the basics. We have to clean it. We have to take care of it. We have to give it a little love. And we have to get the criminals the hell out of there. We will once again support our incredible police officers, New York's finest. A lot of them. You know, I've got the support. To me, this is so important. I think to you, it's every single police group in the nation is supporting me. The other day, the Fraternal Order, it's the largest. They gave us 400,000 police, and they gave us a unanimous endorsement. We have it from everybody. We have it from everybody. We will work with the mayors and the governor to rebuild your defunded and depleted police forces, including New York's finest and NYPD. Look, I know so much about, I love New York's finest. I used to be in Brooklyn. I had an office with my father in Brooklyn. And we used to go in Brooklyn to a White Castle. Did anyone ever hear of a White Castle? And my father would say, no, that's the best place. Only 12 cents a hamburger. Remember, 12 cents. Bruce, we had Bruce. How good is Bruce? Bruce Blakeman, one of the greats. He won in an upset. You know, this is a Republican. He ran a couple of times. You couldn't beat this hoax of Democrats. He ended up winning. He's done such a good job. He's now unbeatable. They don't even run anybody against him. Great. Right. Really great. We got a lot of them. Joe Cairo's here. Joe, are we going to win, Joe? What do you think? Joe Cairo. Don't mess with Joe, right, Joe? We love you, man. Your family's great, too. But I will stop the Kamala crime wave, and we will do everything we can. We're going to get these violent criminals behind bars. We're going to get them out of our country. We're going to take them back to the country from which they came. A few months ago, I visited with the grieving family of a New York City police officer, Jonathan Diller. You know Jonathan Diller? I was hoping his family could be with us. He was just 31 years old, gunned down during a traffic stop by a vicious thug, leaving behind his incredible wife, Stephanie, and family, their one-year-old son. What a son. And are you here? Are they here? They could be here. Is Stephanie here? Because, you know, it was a bond, and she was so great, and I think she's here. It's hard when you have 19,000 people. And Stephanie, unlike a lot of my friends, doesn't want adulation. Honestly, what she wants more than she wants her husband back. That's what she wants. She doesn't want adulation. I have other friends. You'd find them. I have other friends. If you said their name, they'd be jumping up.
Right now, but I think that's Norman.
Stephanie doesn't want that. What a great family! What a great family, and what a great.
Are you watching
great guy he was?
Rally on right now.
The criminal charge was savagely
3 days after the
murdering Officer Diller, was previously arrested by the NYPD 21 times, right? 21 times, Bruce. And the accomplice driving the car had been arrested 14 times, but he was actually much worse. He was more vicious. 14 times, but he was actually far more vicious. This is the kind of story we hear every single day under radical Democrat policies like cashless bail, cashless bail. You kill somebody and you're out on the streets in 2 hours. Cashless bail has been a disaster for our country. Kamala Harris wanted it no matter where she went. She boasted about being the leader of the movement of cashless bail, just like she led the effort to defund the police.
Thank you very much.
She was the leader.
Yeah, we're live on
Facebook. To defund the police, and now she's running for president. But a little while ago,
Tyra, ¿cómo estás?
A little while ago, like everything else, no fracking, no this, no. She changed her mind.
Just out of
now
curiosity,
she says she likes the
latest. The rally's
she can't
on right
say
now.
love,
Trump rally.
But she says like.
In Venice.
She's made a lot of progress, but you know the first thing that would happen is she will go to defunding the police, if that's even possible.
George 63?
To think about.
Is anyone here?
But when I get back into the Oval Office, the madness ends and the law and order is going to return to our country.
Tyra, where are you from? ¿De dónde eres?
A fully reformed Federal Department of Justice will deliver massive public safety funding for New York and other Democrat-run cities that are under siege. But in exchange, they will give our police back their protection and their respect. We are going to take care of our police and we're going to respect our police. Everyone here does. I tell the officers all the time, you have no idea how the people love you, but sometimes they don't feel it because of what the Democrats do to them. They will
from
end
Toronto.
deadly
I live in
sanctuary
Mexico,
city
but I'm from Toronto
policies. They will
originally.
terminate
Cartel.
cashless bail, and they will
I was
return
born in
to
Mount
proven
Sinai.
policing methods like we had under Mayor Rudy Giuliani
But I've been in Mexico
that made
6
New
years.
York City the safest big city in America.
Much better economy. No poison in foods as well.
Simultaneously, we are going to make life in New York State affordable again. Little word, affordable. A vote for Kamala Harris is a vote for 4 more years of job losses. Look at what's happening. Businesses that are fleeing, money draining out of your state.
From New York, it's going to affect us in a very positive way come November. You watch, Norman.
Your public resources dry. You know, I've always heard for 20 years, I've heard that New York City has no money, and yet they're going to spend $3 billion on illegal migrants, and they're not getting it from the federal government. You wonder, they never had money, but they have $3 billion to take care of people that came into our country
because
illegally.
I'm pretty convinced it's going to be the very last American election due to many
But
factors.
under the Trump economic plan, we will cut your energy prices in half within 12 months. Half, because we have more liquid gold under our feet, and we don't
hey, our
use it.
next president's going to be AI. There's no more elections.
We go to places like Venezuela when we have more than Russia. We have more than Saudi Arabia. You remember I got Anwar approved in Alaska. It's the biggest site anywhere in the world, probably bigger than Saudi Arabia, bigger than Russia.
Live. Keep
and what did they do?
3 days after
in the first week in office, Ronald Reagan tried so hard he couldn't get it.
I'm live right now. Squanch with Justin.
The biggest site in the world,
Go to YouTube,
Alaska.
check it out.
And in the first week in office, they terminated
and make sure you comment so I know it's you there. Okay, Tyra?
We'll have it back very quickly. I promise you that.
I got way more money on YouTube.
We will rapidly defeat inflation. We're going to bring your prices down.
Up your game
All
with
they're
the
doing
online
is they've cut it,
streaming.
but you're up 55 or 60%. People that used to live a nice life 4 years ago, they can't afford an apple. A woman, they showed a picture of a woman the other day. I said, boy, that's sad. That should never happen. She went to the counter,
2 lives maximum every day.
She had 3 apples.
4 videos.
And when she was standing with the cashier, she realized she didn't have enough money for one of the apples, and she took the apple, brought it back.
Get them coins,
she bought 2 apples. That shouldn't be happening.
You got any diamonds here on Bigo?
That shouldn't be happening.
Gift of the day. Get me to that star. Let's go.
We will cut interest rates, cut insurance costs, and the insurance is horrible. And massively, we will cut your taxes again. I gave you the largest tax cut in the history of our country. And we have some to go.
Gotta get them coins.
Kamala Harris, as you look at her plan, will give you very simply the largest tax hike in American history. She's going to lift your taxes. This is the only person I've ever seen, and Biden too. They announced that they're going to raise your taxes, and it's supposed to be good politically. I don't think so. I don't know. I've never seen that, Anthony, before, where they say they're going to raise your taxes. They're going to raise your taxes. Vote for me. I'm going to raise your taxes. Can you believe it? I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done that because the news will say, vote for me. I'm going to raise it. They're going to say, they're going to attribute it to me. I can't do that. I told our great First Lady I will not be sarcastic anymore.
Why not?
When you joke or when you're sarcastic, the fake news will take a story like that. I'll say, I never said I was going to raise your taxes.
A month on top
vote for me. I'll raise your taxes. Kiddingly.
For the last 2 years.
These people are the
all
worst.
All organic, no trades, no business, no bullshit.
When I imitated Joe Biden because he couldn't get off the stage.
If you wanted to learn how to make money,
so I'd imitate him.
Ask me anything.
Because he couldn't find the stairs and look around. He finished the speech, the speech would last maybe 3 minutes, maybe a little less than that. And then he'd want to get off the stage, and it always go like this. But you remember, we're not running against him. We're running against somebody who's actually much worse. Ready? And he'd go like this. And then he'd walk in a different direction. It was the weirdest thing.
He is a weird
and Secret Service did a great job. They'd come up in the stage and they'd pull him out. Like today, we have 4 or 5 stairs. You always have 4, 5, 6 stairs.
He like smells their hair.
It's government owned, the more stairs you have. But you always have a lot. So I said to our great First Lady, who can draw a crowd? Did you watch me tonight on television, First Lady? People love our First Lady out there. Go out and get a book. She just wrote a book. I hope she said good things about it. I don't know. I didn't. So busy. She just wrote a book called Melania. Go out and buy it. It's great. And if she says bad things about me, I'll call you all up and I'll say, don't buy it. Get rid of it.
It's happening. It's happened within the
but she
first
said to
year of
me-
him being president.
I said, baby,
Biden's
did you
first
see the
year,
crowd? We had 18,000 people.
it's like he had-
We could have filled it up 3 or 4 times.
It's like he couldn't
Bruce
stop.
Blakeman said
All he
to
wanted
me,
do
you
was
know,
sniff children. It was fucking
he said
weird.
to
But
me,
then
you
I'm pretty
know,
sure his
if
publicist
we went
told
to
him,
a stadium,
dude, you keep
or a
touching these
park,
children like that,
we would have had
you're going to be in
100,000
fucking
people
jail.
or more.
Because he kept touching them, pulling them closer, pulling them.
So I'd
too
call up
close,
my
and they're like,
wife,
you know, dick
and I'd
high.
say,
It's
baby,
weird.
who could draw crowds?
Don't
Nobody could draw
touch
crowds.
somebody
Nobody,
else's
not even
child.
close.
Doesn't matter if you're the fucking
I'm the
president.
greatest of all
They used
time,
to
maybe
kiss the
greater
babies in the
even than
60s.
Elvis, because Elvis
In
had
the
a guitar.
70s.
I
That
don't
don't
have a
happen no
guitar.
more.
Elvis had a guitar. I
Because
don't
people in
have
power
the
have been
privilege
known to be fucking
guitar.
pedophiles. And they take
But
that
I'd say,
shit
baby, who
seriously
can do
these
it
days.
like me? Nobody can do it like me. How great am I?
This app is
And
no
she'd
better.
say,
No better.
you know,
It's a fucking.
And
At the
she'd
end of the
say-
day, it's a cult. In
I'd say,
Singapore, this app is
how
a
great
complete
was the
cult
speech? Not how
pedophile
good.
ring. You should
How
fucking
great
read
was
into
it?
how evil this app is.
and she'd say, it was good, but your hair looked terrible tonight. Or the worst ever. So I said, how good was it, First Lady?
Go Harris.
And
Somebody
she
comments.
said,
Oh
it was
my
good,
God,
but you
you're
couldn't
gonna get
find your
kicked,
way
buddy.
off the stage. I was imitating Biden, and they said I did it. I couldn't find my way off the stage. No, so you can't be sarcastic. Sarcasm with the media doesn't work. Okay?
Sarcasm with the media has never worked. And that's what Biden is doing. All this being sarcastic.
So I've given up
come
about-
on, man.
I've given up about
That's
90%
like,
of it.
oh, come on,
I got all
man,
my
is the
friends
most
here.
condescending thing to say to the American people.
Anthony, stand
come
up.
on, man. Like,
Anthony
childish. That was his
Lomangino,
slogan.
one of the greats of all
His
time.
slogan 4 years ago, Biden. Come on, man.
He said, I have a big business problem. What? I have too much cash. I don't know what to do with it. I said, I've heard of worse problems than that, Anthony, right? He's doing good. He's a great man, great businessman, and a great person. Kamala wants income tax hikes, small business tax hikes, capital gains tax hike. How about the
This
capital
guy's
gains?
a rock star. People love him.
She wants
he's
a
just
tax.
pointing at the crowd like you.
Unrealized
You. And people.
capital gain. That means
they
she wants to
rage,
give
man.
you a capital
Trump
gain. Even if you have stock, she wants to give you a capital gain, even if you didn't sell it. You know, I know a lot of people, they're very rich, but they don't have cash. They're rich, but they don't have cash. A lot of them, you know, it's like that. Farmers are like that. They have great land, great everything. They make income, but they don't have cash. And you know what I did for farmers and small business and the tax hike? And nobody talks about this. I got rid of the estate tax, so that, or the death tax, as they would call it, so that when you die and you pass it on to your children who you love, if you don't love your children, then it's not going to do you any good. And there are those. Does anybody in this incredible arena, they did a nice job, by the way, fixing it. I remember the old one. Does anybody in this incredible arena not love their children? Who in the arena is rich and will not leave their money to their kids? Because if that's the case, then what they did for you doesn't mean anything. Do I have any hands? 20,000 people and I have no hands. Okay, who wants to leave their money to their kids? That's good. Well, you know, in the old days, you'd leave the money to the kids, and what would happen? The kids would have to go out and borrow money. They'd lose everything. They had to borrow money from a bank at a high rate of interest. Now they don't have to do that anymore. Now you can leave your farm, you can leave your small business to your kids, but Kamala wants to end that. She wants to end it. She wants to raise your tax to a level that nobody's ever heard of before, and it's crazy. We will go in to a I thought this was a wise guy coming up. This guy, I thought, I'm getting ready. I'm going like this. You know, I got a little bit of a yip problem here, right? That was amazing. I was all ready to start duking it out. I felt like my man in the front row here. Stand up, will you please? This is the toughest man. You know him? Do you all know? I'm going to introduce you later so you can sit. He's the toughest guy. If somebody walked on the stage, he wouldn't be afraid. He would already be attacking the poor guy. Yeah, that was interesting, wasn't it? It's the first time that's ever happened, I think. Is he new to the game? I think so. By contrast, I will cut taxes for families, small businesses, and workers, including restoring the SALT deduction, saving thousands of dollars for residents of New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and other high-cost states. Going to restore SALT. Jobs and factories will pour back into New York. I know how to do it better than anybody's ever known how to do it, and we can do it so easily. Wages will soar, the cost of living will fall, and I will deliver the greatest economy in the history of the world to our country, and one of the greatest economies in the history of New York State. And a key part of restoring safety and saving our economy is stopping the invasion at the border of our country. It's crazy. Under border czar Kamala Harris, you know, she was the border czar until she started looking at this situation, until the coup. I say until the coup because it was a coup. But she was a border czar. Now she said, I was never the border czar. You know what? Give her that. But she was in charge of the border, and the border is the worst run border in the history of the world. There's never been a border like this. 21 million people, illegal aliens are coming in from all over the world, from prisons and jails, from mental institutions and insane asylums. Many tourists are coming in just to watch. Did you ever see this? You have tourists that line up to take pictures of it. They usually turn out to be the fake news, and the pictures are so bad they never show it. You know, the fake news never, ever talks about it, but we have massive numbers of terrorists coming in to our country. You have everybody coming in. We have people that can't speak the language. The great Tom Homan told me the other day, great guy, central casting guy, great guy.
Maggie,
he told me the other day, last
Edward,
month,
welcome to the app.
Figured it out for the last 12 months. 168 different countries came in, represented, and came into our country. Most people don't even know you have that many countries. You actually have over 200. Most people don't know. But I want to be known as one thing. In 2016, I probably won because of the border. I did a great job. I cleaned it up, and the border was good.
YouTube streaming it. If you wanted to check that out.
And in 2020, even though I got millions
right now,
and millions more votes,
man.
They said, sir,
Come
you
over,
get the
man.
same number of votes as you did in 2016, 63
Have a couple
million.
darts, man.
Sir, you cannot lose. I got millions more, and I
have a couple
lost.
Darts. To get on YouTube? Nothing. Just
but
make
you know
your account.
what? We're going to have the greatest win in history when we pull this one off.
And I tell you, it's really popped up my,
legendary.
Watched hours is a thing, right? On YouTube, if you want to get monetized,
but in 2020,
you have to have 1,000 subscribers.
My people would say, sir,
and I can't send the link in
about
here.
The border. Nobody cares. I said, I want to speak about the border. I did a great job. Sir, nobody cares. It's true. I talk about the border. Nobody cared. But now they care, because now the border is 25 times worse than it was in 2016. Now the border is not even believable what's happening. And I want to be known as your border president. I'm going to be known as your border president.
Love sluts. Ooh.
And Kamala will be known as your invasion president. Just let them all come in. Let them all come in. Now, we got to save our country. Our country's going down. If you look at what's happening with the Venezuelans taking over, I mean, they're taking over large pieces of real estate in Colorado, and you have a Democrat governor who's petrified of them.
Here's the link
He's
here,
afraid.
And there
I've
is,
never
I
seen
sent it to
anything
him on
like
WhatsApp.
it.
There's
and
a
he doesn't
share
want to talk about
module.
it. They've taken over your buildings and your land. You got to do something about it. That wouldn't happen with Bruce Blakeman, I can tell you right now.
Share on Facebook, your Facebook account, please. It's a Trump rally, so your American
Bruce, would you let people come in from a foreign country like Venezuela, where, by the way, their crime rate is down 72%, because they've taken their prisoners, they've taken their gangs, they've taken their drug dealers, And they've shipped them all to the United States, so their crime rate's down. But Bruce, would you ever tell the people that you're supposed to be protecting when they call? A lot of Venezuelans are in here and they have very big guns. Would you say, listen, I don't really want to do anything about it? Would you do that? Or would you say, don't worry, we'll have a force of people over there within minutes and it would all be over, right?
Subscribe.
Right? I think so. No, he wouldn't play games.
I still got you in Vigo too, buddy.
He wouldn't play games.
Trump all the way, brother.
But you know, these people, the law enforcement, they're afraid in these places because it's so violent. They've never seen people like this. These are violent people that they're allowing into our country. It is truly an invasion, and we're not going to let it happen. We're going to take those violent people and we're going to ship them back to their country. And if they come back in, they're going to pay a hell of a price.
Around the corner. He's a rock star, absolute rock star, man.
Thank you. We have no choice. We have no choice. It's not like, you know, this is not sustainable by any country. This is not sustainable. How about in Springfield, Ohio? They had 32,000. This is a little beautiful town.
This is where I get the watchtowers.
No crime, no problem. 32,000 illegal immigrants come into the town. 32. So they almost doubled their population in a period of a few weeks.
I went live for 2 hours this morning, 2.5 hours, and showed a whole bunch of like more recent paranormal shit.
They've got to get much tougher.
And
I'm going to go there in the next 2 weeks. I'm going to Springfield and I'm going to Aurora.
And then the Trump went live, and I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta go live.
You may never see me again, but that's okay. Got to do what I got to do. Whatever happened to Trump? Well, he never got out of Springfield. I'm leading.
Do I have to touch the microphone
in Ohio by like 15 points, a lot. And we're going to take care of Ohio, and we're going to take care of Colorado, and we're going to take care of every single state in the union. They're all under siege. A lot of people don't talk about. But think of this. So the mayor of Springfield, and I think he's a very nice person. But instead of saying we're getting them all out, we're getting them out. He says very simply, we're hiring teachers to teach them English. Can you believe it? We are hiring interpreters. So when they go to school and take the place of our children in school, we have an interpreter. Each one will have a private interpreter. What the hell is wrong with our country? No. We're getting them out of our country.
Oh, really?
They came in illegally. They're destroying our country. We're getting them out.
Well,
they're going to be brought back.
Make sure you share
to
with
the country from which they came.
Yeah, I can share with X.
I will protect our country. I will protect our country. Think of it. She will surrender our country. That's what they're doing. They still refuse to acknowledge that these people have to be taken out. And you start with the stone cold killers,
I got another follow on Twitter.
You get them out and you tell them if they ever come back, big trouble. But let me tell you what you really do. Some of them are so bad you can't take the chance of sending them out because they'll come back. You lock them up and they're going to be there for a long time. And when they know that, you'll see a whole big difference. As you know, here on Long Island, the open borders policies of Kamala Harris, and it were really her policies, and the communist left, I call it the communist left, have been importing MS-13 gang members by the thousands. I don't know what it is about Long Island, but, you know, I took thousands and thousands of gang members out. Do you remember the story?
Okay, man. Here's my
Remember,
Twitter
I came into the presidency.
Well. If anyone wanted to follow me on Twitter,
MS-13 was on my mind because I saw that in Long Island, two beautiful young girls were walking to school. They were 16 years old.
Can you go
and
to
an MS-13 gang of deviants grabbed the girls and sliced them up into pieces. Not with guns. They didn't want guns. They killed the two girls. They sliced them into little pieces. And
share
I never forgot that. And then I found out that things like that are happening all over wherever they are. MS-13, the worst gang anywhere. The only thing good about that is they make our gangs look like very nice people. I want to tell you. These are the worst people. They're animals. And Nancy Pelosi said, you shouldn't call people animals. That's not appropriate. They're animals. That's the philosophy. And I said, I got to the White House And I said, they have a lot in Ohio, a lot in every state. And I said, I want MS-13 out of here. They come from various places, a little bit south of Mexico. They come from Mexico too. And I said, what I want you to do is I want to bring them out. And the general said, sir, I'm sorry, sir. The countries will not, under any circumstances, allow us to bring them back in. They don't want them anymore, sir. I said, how long has this been going on? Many years during the Barack Hussein Obama. Has anyone ever heard of him? Many years, sir, under the Barack Hussein Obama administration. It's been going on for years, so they won't take them. You know what they did? They would take Honduras, okay? Think of it. They would take planes, and they would put them on the runways.
Please comment if you're in the YouTube
planes,
channel.
El
Please
Salvador,
comment on the chat, like the chat, share the chat.
Some of the roughest gangs. They put big commercial aircraft. So when a plane is going to fly in with 200 or 300
just let me know you're there and please subscribe for me. Hey, Jen, what's going on? Oh, he drives by.
Sir, we can't get them back. All of the bus routes are blocked. We can't get the buses in. And when they know a plane is coming, they put planes on the runway. Sir, we won't be able to do it. I said, I think you will. How much money do we pay them for? Economic development.
Tell you all about it, man. Let's see.
How much money do we pay them, General? I'll get back to you, sir. He comes back the next day. Sir, we pay them $750 million a year. It's a lot. Let me tell you, it's peanuts compared to some of the money that we pay, but it's a lot of money. I said, inform these countries that under no circumstances are they getting any money anymore.
Guys, please hit the chat. Let me know who's there.
They are delinquent. They're not allowing us to bring back people that they forced into our country through caravans.
Thanks, brother.
So they informed them, and the next day I get to the Oval Office.
Hit the hearts over here.
And
hit the share button and share with Facebook and Twitter. I put my Twitter handle there.
Sir, there seems to be a problem or misunderstanding.
There, please follow my Twitter.
I said, yeah, there is a misunderstanding. You're not taking your MS-13 people that you sent into our country. You're not taking them back. And I'm going to not give any money to your country forever. You're never getting 10 cents.
Astro, welcome in.
And in all cases, they said something to the effect,
Please join me right now live on Launch with Justin, my YouTube channel.
Bad that I didn't know
We're
about
watching
this.
the live Trump rally as we speak.
We would love to take MS-13 back into our country. We love
Please
them very
like the
much.
live on
We
YouTube.
will take them back, sir. And
Share,
that day,
subscribe.
that afternoon, we started bringing them out of our country by the thousands and thousands and thousands. And the worst part of the story
offline.
is
Who is that?
Now,
Office
I still
offline.
don't
Welcome
pay
in.
them. I figured. But
Is it the freaky?
But now they're getting $4 billion a year under Biden. Biden said, do it. Maybe she knew about it. I don't want to blame her if she didn't, but $4 billion. You know why? Because he wants them to create a beautiful environment so that they say that that's not going to happen. Okay, the money's going to be stolen all over the place. So instead of 750, it's now at $4 billion. An estimated 75% of arrests in Midtown Manhattan and over 60% of arrests in Queens are now illegal aliens. Congratulations. Congratulations. And you know this. In Queens a few months ago, an illegal alien released by Kamala Harris, she was in charge of the border, approached two 13-year-old children with a machete in broad daylight, forced them into the woods, tied them together by the wrists and raped them, injured them terribly, very badly. You know about it. In the Bronx, another illegal alien that Kamala Harris set loose into our country approached a 36-year-old woman while pretending to ask for directions. Ma'am, he said, I'd like directions to someplace. Before he wrapped his arms around her throat, pinned her down on a park bench, and raped her all night.
We have finally broken through the 130 subscriber level. Thank you, everybody.
She said, he didn't rape me.
Yes.
He tried to kill me. That was her expression when the police came. And on Coney Island, a place I know well, just weeks ago, two migrants, Kamala let in, raped a 46-year-old woman with a knife to her throat.
I thought
she was badly beaten,
too long.
Probably going to live. For every New Yorker being terrorized by this wave of migrant crime, and I've been talking about
Don't keep me
migrant crime
guessing
for
that long,
5
people.
years.
Subscribe.
I said, if you let them in, it's going to be hell. They are vicious, violent criminals that are being let into our country. They're people that their countries who are very smart, they don't want them. That's why all over the world, a lot of people coming from jails out of the Congo in Africa. Where do you come from? The Congo.
I think you got it wrong, man. I think
Where
Joe
in the
Rogan's the one that
Congo?
needs
We
to die
come from
before this
jail.
guy.
What did you do? We will not tell you.
Joe Rogan's
They're coming
word is
from the
even
Congo.
stronger
They're
than
coming
his,
from
man.
Africa.
Careful for
They're
that
coming
motherfucker.
from the Middle East. They're coming from all over the world. Asia.
Trump's nothing
A lot of
compared
it
to
coming
the
from
audience that he
Asia.
has.
And what's happening to our country is we're just destroying the
We're going into
fabric
panic mode
of
because
life
people are
in
getting
our
shot left,
country.
right, and center.
And we're
There's
not going to
assassination
take it
attempts
any
on the
longer.
country's
And you
leader.
got to get rid of these people.
Hey,
Give me a
Richie.
shot. You will have a safe New York
going?
within
Now
3
I know
months.
your real name.
3 months.
Thank you all. Please share the live, guys. You can share on Facebook, share on Twitter. Please, please, please.
For every New Yorker being terrorized by this wave
Copy
of
the link and
migrant
send it around
crime,
as well if you could.
November 5th will be your
This
liberation
is
day.
3
It's going to
days
be
after the
liberation
second
because
assassination
you are
attempt on
living
his
like
life, making
hell.
a speech strong as
You're
anything.
living a life like hell. I will launch a special task force of elite federal law enforcement people, many of whom I already know, that are
Know them
tough,
well, know them all well.
and charge them with
Many of which
crushing
I already
the
know.
MS-13 remnants. You know, the problem is
Gotta
I got
love
them
this
out,
guy.
and now they come back in. They just walk back in like there's nothing to it. But eliminating MS-13 in every foreign gang and organized criminal network opening up on American soil. They're coming in by
That's
the
cool.
millions, not by the hundreds.
People, and then
They're coming
push.
in by the millions. Think of it. Probably 21 million people. That's probably a low number.
Absolutely.
We can do all of this and more, but patriotic New Yorkers must get your asses out to vote. Gotta get up. Gotta get up. Harry, get up, Harry. Harry, get your fat ass out of the couch.
Sorry.
You're going to vote for Trump
Chris,
today,
that message
Harry.
wasn't for you. Don't worry about what's
Get
up.
up, Harry. Come on, let's go. Let's go, Harry.
Yeah, sure. 1 sec.
We got to vote. Got to vote. And I believe we have the vote. You know, it's an interesting thing. Evangelical Christians, they tend not to vote very much. If they did, you'd never lose. Gun owners, I have the total endorsement of the NRA, have had it from the beginning. Gun owners don't vote, meaning they don't vote in a proportion that they should. Very small numbers vote. It's probably rebellion, who knows what it is. The gun owners have to get out and vote. Evangelicals, Christians have to get out and vote. People have to get out. There are some groups that don't vote like they should, and we're going to win. We're pleased to be joined tonight by members of Congress that are really terrific, that are warriors, really warriors. And one of them in particular, I love what she did to that woman at Harvard. Oh, that was not pretty. Elise Stefanik. Where is Elise? Where is she? Where is she? She is so great. Where the hell is she? Thank you, Elise. Well, she was great. Mark Molinaro. Great. Nick LaLota. Nick. Thank you, Nick. Great job. He's doing a good job. Here's another one doing a good job. I gave him a big endorsement, Anthony D'Esposito. He's doing a great job. Thank you, Anthony. Salt. Salt, Anthony. Remember, fellas, salt. Brandon Williams, doing great. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you very much. Nick Langworthy, terrific guy. Claudia Tenney. Where's Claudia? Where's Claudia? She's been amazing. Congressional candidates, Mike LePetri. Where's Mike? Thank you, Mike. Good. I heard you leading big. And Allison Esposito. She's a tough one. Allison, thank you. Thank you very much. It's tough, you know, when you have this many people. I'm looking around. Where's one person? Thank you very much, Allison. Beautiful. Senate candidate, Mike Sapriacone. Mike Sapriacone. Come on, Mike. Where's Mike? You got to win, Mike. We got to win that one, Mike. You can do that. You can do that. A former senator and a friend of mine for a long time. And we had disputes every once in a while, but generally I would say it was a 10 relationship. And he was a tough cookie, Senator Al D'Amato. Right? Good man. A good man. a great lawyer and congressman, and he helped me a lot during impeachment hoax number one
Sorry, one sec,
and impeachment hoax number two. They were
I'm sending my
hoaxes.
address to my mom. I just don't know if this is
Congressman
the right
Lee
address.
Zeldin.
Man, AA, you got to open your ears, buddy.
He's great.
If all you're
And he's a
doing is
big
Israel
part of our
shit, then you're not
campaign,
listening
and
to
I
us.
want to bring him to Washington with us. He's a great lawyer. Get ready. Ambassador to Israel, David Friedman, who's fantastic. A mayor who was a fantastic mayor, very shy kind of a guy. He took crime. It was terrible. It was at a level that was as bad as today. And he made New York the safest big city in the world. Rudy Giuliani.
Semper, I just sent you something on WhatsApp. Can you confirm that that's like my address? Does it look proper?
Boy, Rudy, isn't that great?
Thanks, buddy.
And his son, who happens to be a great golfer.
No. It's all good. You got to open your ears, because a lot was about Israel 3 weeks ago. But,
Giuliani.
the main thing right now is the American election.
Thank you, Andrew.
Don't let those
Did a
3
good
weeks
job.
cloud your judgment. It's about America, my friend.
Very beautiful little boy.
It's about
who went
America
through
becoming
hell.
affordable again.
But I brought him some presents. That's why I was late for you today. I brought him presents. I said, Liam, do you think the crowd of 20,000 plus a lot of people outside, we put up big televisions on the back of the building, but that's not like being here.
Let me confirm that.
It's wonderful. Hello out there. I hope you're enjoying it.
How'd you like that?
Big, beautiful screens. We have big screens. Not quite like being in the third row, first row, but Liam LaCastro is here, and he is a great young man. He's gone through a lot, but he's going to be better soon, right, Liam? And I got him the most beautiful present. He's a great boy, great parents, beautiful sister. Also with us are members of New York City Firefighters Union, Local 94, the largest in the city. Thank you, fellas. Incredible people. And in their honor, I'm on. And I think this is a big deal, because in your honor, I am announcing tonight that as president, I will officially make the Ground Zero site at the World Trade Center a national monument, protected and maintained by the United States government.
I think that's weird
So
that they
hallowed
haven't made a
ground
large
and
monument
the memory
for
of those
9/11
who
yet.
perished there will be preserved
Fucking 14
for all
years
time,
almost.
preserved forever. And you deserve it. A lot of great people. I met them last week.
Address is correct. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It looks to be correct, but I'm confirming with one more person.
Well, and I met him last week with the ceremony, and it was a beautiful ceremony.
I texted it to Sammy too, just in case, because his mom lives here. I'm sure
the New
she
Yorkers
gets
who
Amazon
created
orders.
the
This is
9/11
for
National
Amazon, so I don't
Memorial
want to get it. I don't
Museum
want
really did an amazing
No, man,
job.
ordering a
and
pizza?
many
No,
of them
man.
are
I'll
here
just give
today,
them
and I want to
WhatsApp,
thank them.
and I'll send them my
And I want to
location,
ensure
bro.
that their outstanding
No, man,
work
tonight I
is
got some
sustained
chicken,
forever, and that's what we've done by doing this.
Veggies.
So we are just
I might make soup.
48 days away from
chicken.
the most important election in American history.
Yeah.
The
Well,
most
thank you all so
important.
much, guys. Click
The
that
most
subscribe button. Let's see what we can do.
Stand up.
Yeah,
Now
there we
you
go.
can stand up.
Now you can stand
They
Get up.
didn't put your name down. Turn around. Who
Say
is he?
hello to the
Name
American
him.
people.
He took care of business, right? It's my man.
Get some.
Good.
Bring another one over here, bro. I
Boy,
miss
I'm
you.
glad
Come
I
on
didn't
over.
forget you.
Tell your girl you're going for a ride.
Good guy,
Come over for
good
a
friend
beer
of mine
with
for
me.
a long time. Whenever I had problems, I'd look at him and they'd say, "Let's leave
Well,
Trump
see,
alone."
that's another thing. Like,
Thank you, man. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Just to
great
talk
gentleman.
about your subject.
Kamala Harris is
Everyone in the
for
American
wide
government is
open
guilty of some
borders
sort
with
of
terrorists
fucking
and
crazy
criminals
espionage
pouring
right
into
now.
our
And there
country, more
is class
inflation,
action
even higher than the
lawsuits
last 4
in the
years,
workings
which
to
was
put
a
800 plus
record.
people behind bars
She
for the
wants to
tyranny
pack
that's been happening over
the
the last
Supreme
little while.
Court. Think of that one.
But in Trump's reign,
And
no
today
war,
I heard it
no
all.
corruption, and he
I
put
thought they
those
wanted maybe
power
11.
in place.
Maybe they wanted 13. That's an unlucky
Hey,
number, so
Rico
maybe it would be
fucking Patty.
15 instead of 9. But instead of 9, Kamala wants to bring up potentially as many as 25 justices.
Let me confirm, but I believe so.
So that they can rig the system like they rig everything else, including elections. And maybe one of the worst things of all, she is a true believer. And again, I said this before, if you want to defund the police, if you've been there even for a day,
Hey, buddy, it's been a while,
in your mind,
comma.
you want to defund the police even for one day, you
you come
are
over to my
not
YouTube channel real
qualified to be
quick?
the
Period. I'm
president
live
of
there.
the United States. Because anybody who wants to defund the police,
Is there anybody he hits that
we can't
note?
have it. We can't have it.
You know
It'll
what I
go
mean?
down.
Anybody who wants to fund the police?
We're not going to let our
He
country
gets
fail.
that
It's too
grit in
great.
his voice.
And
That's
you know
when
what?
you know he's
If we don't
putting
win
a
this
button
election,
on that
it's
fucking
very
sentence.
possible we'll never have another chance. We have
What
to
a
do it.
bitch!
You have to
What
get
a total
out.
bitch.
You have to vote. But Kamala vowed to abolish ICE. She supports free health care for illegal aliens. How
Oh my
about that
God,
one?
this
You
is gonna
don't
be the
get
whole
free
time
health
you
care.
are. Rico Batty. Oh my God.
These are all things that she was for years. Now, for the last little while, she's saying, no, I don't really think that was right anymore. 15 different things. She wants mass amnesty and citizenship for all illegals, which means totally bankrupting Social Security and Medicare. She wants to put illegal aliens into your Social Security and your Medicare system, which guarantees their bankruptcy. She says we must not utter the words illegal alien again or radical Islamic terrorist again. And think of this, during her 3.5 years, to me, this is the worst thing I talk about tonight. It's unbelievable. During her period of 3.5 years, she was in charge of the border. She lost more than 325,000 migrant children, many of whom have been trafficked, raped, and many of whom are dead. Many of whom are dead.
Please don't forget
Think
to
of what
like
that is.
the
That's
live,
like
guys. The little
Yankee
thumbs up
Stadium
emoji at the top left. Please
filled
hit that
up
one.
many, many times. Think of it. Think of it. As California Attorney General, she redefined child sex trafficking, assault with a deadly weapon, and rape of an unconscious person. I'd never heard of this. Rape of a very unconscious person as totally nonviolent crimes. She vowed repeatedly to ban fracking. She imposed a natural gas export ban that is crushing the state of Pennsylvania. I'm way up in Pennsylvania, by the way. This helps. But she's not going to let, the day after the election, all of these things come back. I hope you know that. She praised the idea of a tax rate of between 70 and 80%. And her only idea for solving inflation is to impose communist-inspired price controls, which have never worked. She pledged to abolish. Does anybody here have private health care? You worked hard. She wants to abolish anybody that's worked hard and made some money. Private health care, no more private health care, and force everyone into a socialist government-run health care with high taxes and deadly wait times. And she even endorsed free sex change operations for illegal aliens in detention, all at taxpayer expense.
That's pathetic. I don't think that's true, though.
Now think of that one. They come into the country
if you
illegally and they
that,
say, I want to change my
if
sex.
that was actually signed, you're signing a death warrant.
She's totally in favor of it. I'm sure she'll deny it now, but that's what she is. In 2021, Joe Biden tasked Kamala Harris with bringing broadband to rural America. Rural America was dying for it and gave her $42 billion to do the job. 3 years later, right now, not a single home has been connected to broadband. Everyone's saying, what happened to the money? $42 billion, not one home. And in the Midwest, you read this, in the Midwest, they built 8 charging stations. That's like a gas pump with electricity, right? 8. They spent $9 billion to build 8 charging stations. Other than that, it really works well. I will end the electric mandate on cars immediately.
Yeah, no. You can't really take everything that he says.
And I have
You
to
gotta
say
take
this,
everything
look,
that Trump says with a
Elon
grain
Musk
of
is
salt.
great. He's a great
Because
guy.
at the end of the day,
and he makes a great car.
he wants. Oh, I cannot wait for that either, man.
And as strong as I am
can't
on
wait
this,
for
because
November,
I think
dude.
they're incredible.
I cannot
but
wait.
It's limited. Some people want them, and some
But
people
yeah, you
love
can't
them. I
take
think
everything
they're
he says with a
incredible.
grain of salt. He
And
wants
he
to win
makes
the
a
fucking
great
election.
product,
Everyone's full of
maybe
lies,
the
man.
best
This is
product
politics.
I hear.
They're liars.
And he understands this. Some people have to go far distances.
But I vote for the
Some
most
people don't
entertaining
want the
and
additional
hard-hitting
cost. Some
president.
people don't
And
want
when
their
it came
car
down
built
to
in
it, the 4
China.
years that he was in
Electric
the
cars will be
presidency
built
already,
in China.
the
I'm
strongest
going to
the
bring
American
back
dollar
the
has
auto
ever been
industry.
in
We're going to have
history.
gasoline-powered cars. We're going to have hybrids. We're going to have electric cars.
Sandy the
We're
voice,
going to
how
have
you going?
everything. The new one is hydrogen. I heard about that the other day. Hydrogen. There's one little problem. If it blows up, you're dead.
Yeah, hydrogen bomb.
It's great until one day there's a little bit of a problem,
I love
Anthony,
this
and
guy.
it blows up.
So
and
good.
when
It
that
has
happens,
to be
it's not a
fattening.
pretty picture.
These are
So,
fucking bomb. If you guys
I
haven't
think
tried
I'll
these
take a
bad
pass
boys
on
yet,
that one if you don't mind for a while. And just
Icy
today,
motherfuckers.
3 agencies of the Kamala Harris and Joe Biden administration, the FBI, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence and Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, they just released a report confirming that Iran actors hacked into the Trump campaign's email accounts and in turn sought to give the hacked materials to the Biden-Harris campaign. They gave them all of the materials because Biden is working with Iran, and Iran doesn't exactly like me
Well,
because they were ready to
if
make
it was
a
me,
deal.
I wouldn't be voting either.
Except we had an
But I
election
know who the
that
winner's
was
going to
rigged
be, and you
and
better get
stolen.
on side, or else you're going to have
And look
enemies.
at what's
man.
happening to our world
Gotta get
now.
on
But
side.
no, Iran hacked into my
It's your
campaign.
country,
I don't
and
know
you
what
have
the
to
hell
be
they
proud.
found. I'd like to find
Whomever
out.
they vote
Couldn't have
in,
been too
you have to
exciting.
support and be
But they
proud
gave
of
it to the Biden
You
campaign.
have to.
I can't believe
If
it.
not-
Oh, yes, I can.
Here's the door.
But this is really foreign election interference. This is real election
Oh, well,
interference,
we
not the
lost the
phony
election.
crap
Well, let's
they've
all work
been
together.
trying to pin on me with Russia,
know?
Russia for years. Whatever happened to Russia, Russia, Russia? Remember the 51 intelligence agents? They said, no, no, the laptop from hell. It's Russia. No, it was Hunter. It's Hunter. Remember that? We had to go 2.5 years, and then they finally said, all right, the Mueller, remember Mueller? He said, in millions of phone calls, Trump didn't make one to Russia. They went through every phone call I made. Can you imagine? In millions of calls, not one call to me. And a lot of people apologize for that, but not enough people apologize. They wasted time and money. They spent hundreds of millions of dollars going after me, and they got nothing. They got nothing. But we cannot allow this insanity to continue anymore. That's why less than 2 months from now, we are going to tell Kamala that we've had enough. Kamala, you've been a terrible vice president. You will be an even worse president. We're not going to take it anymore, Kamala. Kamala, you're fired. Get out. You're fired.
Yes.
We're not going to take it anymore, Kamala.
No pasa nada. Yeah, no, I'm just here talking, just here watching the latest. I'm putting this on my live because I'm impressed. This is 3 days after his second assassination attempt. He's fucking glowing.
That was a little line
Stronger
from
than
The
ever.
Apprentice, which I'm sure you haven't seen.
And his
What a
politics
great
and
show.
in
Was
his
The
life. I don't care about
Apprentice
his
good or
age. He's a
From the moment
very
we take
energetic
back the
human
White
being
House
for a
from
man that's
Kamala
80s.
Harris,
How old is
I
Trump?
believe we are going to have the 4
What's Trump's
greatest
age?
years in the history of our country.
Uncle David. 78, bro. David, ¿cómo estás, David? Mi casa nueva es en días
Starting
raras,
on
güey.
day one,
Entra.
I will seal the border and stop the migrant invasion, an invasion like no country has ever seen before. We will stop it immediately. We will carry out the largest deportation operation of criminals in American history. We're getting them out of our country. We will make America the dominant energy producer in the world by far. We have more than anybody else. And we have more, think of it, we have more than Saudi Arabia. We have more than anybody else, especially when you add Anwar in Alaska, which we will reinstitute immediately. We're going to use it along with growth. We are going to grow to start paying down our debt. We have $35 trillion in national debt. We were all set to do it. And then we got hit by COVID. We had to focus on that. And then we gave back. You know, I got great marks on the military. We took out ISIS, wiped out ISIS 100%. We did it in 4 weeks. It was supposed to take 4 years, 5 years. And I got great marks in the economy. Never got great marks in COVID because they didn't want to give them to me. But the fact is, we did an unbelievable job. Nobody knew what the hell it was. It came from China. It came from the Wuhan lab. I said all these things. And we did an unbelievable job. And we handed over a country whose stock market was higher than it was just prior to COVID coming in, and amazing. But we did have to focus on that. Think of what China did to us. The world has $60 trillion and millions of people dead over that disaster.
What if he wins? He's going to win. So wrap your heads around it, guys. The second assassination attempt solidified that in gold.
More than almost anybody. I will turn the United States into a manufacturing superpower more than it has ever been before. We're going to bring back the car industry. We're going to bring back the car industry. Other countries that make us pay a tax to do business with them will be charged the same tax when they send their product into the United States. We have countries, not only China, many countries, many of them are allies. Some of the worst trading countries are allies. Don't let that word surprise you. They're allies. They're friends of ours, and they take advantage of us horribly on the military with NATO and on trade. It will be called the Trump Reciprocal Trade Act, and if China or any other country charges us a 200 or 100 or 300% tax, then we will charge them a like 100, 200, 300% tax in return. You charge us, we charge you. And my message is very simple. Make your product right here in Uniondale. Make your product in America. Make your product in America and only in America. And if you do that, Bruce, you won't have to pay a tax.
And
they'll be coming in here like you wouldn't believe, right?
Make your product
the worst
in
that
New York
happens,
City.
we'll take in a lot of money, but we don't even want
you
that.
Want the money
we want them to make
the largest
their product. We're going to bring back the auto industry. Right now, China's building some of the largest auto plants in the world, and they're building them in Mexico.
Problem overnight.
And they think they're going to build these massive plants.
Slam the economy.
Literally the biggest in the world. They're going to make millions of cars and sell them without tax across our border. We will put a tariff on all of those cars to a point where they won't be able to sell them because we want them to build their plants in the United States and hire many of the people in this audience, and that's what's going to happen.
That's what I'm talking about. Good salaries.
And we also have something that's basic, but wow, people said, you're really smart. Where the hell did you think of this one? No tax on tips. So if you're a waitress, a caddy, a driver, but maybe better, no tax on overtime. And we'll get it done. We'll get it done. Unlike him with student loan debt that went nowhere, just to talk. We get it. I get it all done. Remember what they say, promises made, promises kept. That's me. And ready? Here's for the seniors. Do we have any seniors in the audience?
Tap those emojis, guys.
You ready? No tax on Social Security benefits. No tax on Social Security benefits. And you know why you deserve it? Because you lived like hell with the highest inflation probably in the history of our country, and you couldn't make ends meet. Now you're not going to have to pay tax on your Social Security benefit.
Ask ChatGPT for a cheaper alternative.
And I will always protect Social Security and Medicare And they won't.
Mass
They're going to
economical.
destroy it. They're putting the migrants all over the place, including there. And while working Americans catch up, we're going to put a temporary cap on credit card interest rates. We're going to cap it at around 10%. We can't let them make 25 and 30%. We will terminate the Green New Scam and spend trillions of dollars. We're going to take the Green New Scam, one of the greatest scams in the history of our country. Remember when they used to say global warming? They don't say that anymore. They say climate change because the planet's actually getting cooler. Climate change, Chuck. Climate change is different. Just Chuck Zito. Oh, I feel safe with him in the front row. Are you afraid of climate change, Chuck? Because now it's no longer global warming because that wasn't working so well, because it was getting cooler. Now it's climate change because that covers if it's warmer, it's cooler. We're going to take all of that money, we're going to take it, and we're going to rebuild. We're going to take this money from the Green New Scam. It's a Green New Scam, one of the greatest scams in history. And we're going to spend it on roads and bridges and real infrastructure. And we're going to pay down debt, not fake infrastructure that's caused massive inflation and has no benefit whatsoever for our country. And I will settle the war in Ukraine. I got along very well with Putin and Zelensky.
Know him well.
And I will end the chaos
bit of a bitch.
in the Middle East. A vote for Kamala Harris is a vote to obliterate Israel. That's what's going to happen. Israel.
Now you can't argue with that.
Israel will not exist in 2 years. And by the way, we are closer to World War III right now than at any time during anybody's life in this beautiful room. I will stand with Israel and we will return a thing called peace through strength. And we're going to get it settled. We're going to get it done. We're going to get it done. We're not going to have war in the Middle East. We're not going to have war with Russia and Ukraine. You know, when I was there, we didn't have any war other than ISIS. I finished them off. We knocked out al-Baghdadi, the founder of ISIS. Think of that. We knocked them off. It was supposed to take 4 to 5 years. I did it in 4 weeks.
So weird.
General Raisin Cain, what's your name? Cain, sir, what's your first name? Well, they call me Raisin. I said, your name is Raisin Cain. That's the general I was looking. He did it in 4 weeks. The Russian attack on Ukraine and the October 7th attack on Israel would never have happened if I was president. Would never have happened.
I know, right?
Think of what the world would be, and think of what our nation would be with no Russia-Ukraine war, no October 7th disaster in Israel and the Middle East. It's inflamed right now. It's inflamed like nobody's seen it for 50 years. No inflation and energy dominance. That's what it would have, energy dominance. We'd have no inflation. We wouldn't have either the Middle East or the Russia, Ukraine. What a different world it would be, wouldn't it be? Oh, we can't let them cheat on elections anymore. We can't let it happen. We will rebuild our cities, including Washington, D.C., making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. Right now, we have a capital that when you go down there, you have a damn good chance of being hurt, mugged, something. And we will keep the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency. We're losing that, but I'll keep it. I'll keep it. China wants to take it over, and if that happened to us, that would be like losing a war. That would be the biggest thing. That would make us a third world country. We will keep our dollar as the reserve currency. Remember, I said it, and it will be easy.
I said it here first.
It'll be easy. But this is how we will end the era of inflation, mayhem, misery under Kamala and Crooked Joe, and unleash safety, prosperity, and peace for Americans of every race, religion, color, and creed. That's what we're going to do. Together, we will deliver low taxes, low regulations, low energy costs, low interest rates, low inflation, so that everyone can afford groceries, a car, and a home. Very simple. Right? We will stop the invasion, end migrant crime, support our police, strengthen our military. I want to wish a happy 77th birthday to the United States Air Force.
Oh my God.
And if you remember, I created Space Force, which was the last since Air Force, which will soon be 5 years old. Space Force has turned out to be very important. We will build a missile defense shield around our country, keep critical race theory and transgender insanity out of our schools, and we will keep men out of women's sports.
If you wanted to come over, it is nice to see. I fucking loved getting your message the other day. I miss you.
We will defend the Second Amendment, restore free speech, and we will secure our elections, and we will secure our borders. Everyone will prosper, every family will thrive, and every day will be filled with opportunity and hope.
Come on over. You did.
But for that to happen, we must defeat Kamala Harris and the crooked Democrats. So we must stop her country-destroying liberal agenda once and for all. So get everyone you know and vote. We want a landslide that is very simply too big, too rigged. Right, Bruce? Too big to rig. Joe, too big to rig. Too big to rig, Joe.
It's been a lonely few months.
I think we can do that, too. On November 5th, we will save our economy. We will rescue our middle class. We will reclaim our sovereignty and restore our borders. We will put America first, and we will take back our country, because together we will make America powerful again. Make America wealthy again. Make America healthy again. Make America strong again. Make America proud again. Make America safe again. Make America free again.
Well, I'm not for no war at all. War is necessary as a...
great again. Thank you very much. We love New York. Love New York.
No, like none of that. No, like God all these are unnecessary wars. But war is necessary, like in general. Okay, that's it, guys. That was awesome. That is it. The live has ended. Anything else we can throw on there? Guys, here's my Instagram. Follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me, follow me down, down, down. Come on. It's only 400 Canadian for the return flight right now. I get a spare room, or we could just push the two beds together. Right? Okay, where are we going here? Where is my live? Okay, you guys are still kicking. That's a good sign. This live module on YouTube is so different. I really don't know how to use it at the moment. But let's go. I'm going to do one more. We'll do one more, what's it called? Video. Let's just stick to what we know well. 130 subs, guys. Thank you so much. This guy always has the latest and greatest with the paranormal and freaky. I haven't even subscribed to him. Good golly. I love this guy's videos. Most recent one. I'm not exactly sure. Oh, is that you, O'Neill? What is this? It's just not working. No. Okay, this is kind of the preview for what's going to happen, which I hate showing.
Hi, I'm James III, and you're watching the Impossible Channel. Welcome aboard. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Of us.
There we go.
And being that every now and then people get to see strange things in the sky,
Dave, thank
it's
you.
become somewhat of a trending
Belly
topic.
wellies. Sent 3.
Oh my
Only
god.
6 back.
But just
Oh,
recently, something really
God.
bizarre happened, something that made the entire world look up once more and ponder if it's really just us, or if there's something else possibly hiding up there. On June 5th, 2024, just a couple of weeks ago, a Boeing Starliner was sent to orbit and everything was going as it should. This is up until the moment that it
Wow.
docks. When that
So
happened, they
frustrating.
had technical issues, and these technical issues became a nightmare. Not only were they stuck up there for an indefinite period of time, just a couple of months after, they began hearing sonar-type sounds emanating from within the ship.
I'll do it one more time, and I'll let y'all scratch your heads to see if you can figure out what's going on. Here we go.
Now, it didn't take long before this became a really big topic all over the internet. And because at the time, no one had any idea about the true origin of the sound, it soon became a mystery and most people were asking the same question. Is this coming from an alien civilization, possibly hiding up there somewhere, or is it just a coincidence? Now let's just say that there's something hiding up there.
Yeah.
There should be video evidence of such a thing, right?
And that's the scariest
Well,
part. If there's
not
no
even a
damage
month after
control,
the
then we're
Starliner
fucked.
was launched, this happened.
You know what I mean?
On June 19th,
Eddie.
an internet profile by the name of Les.M.Sens was having a really good time with some of her friends somewhere in Tampico, Mexico.
Oh,
This
there's
is
a lot of
until
Mexican shit in
they
this
all
video.
noticed what
I
looks
heard.
like a glowing round object that appears to be hiding within one of the clouds. Now keep in mind that they were about 900 miles west of Cape Canaveral, where the Starliner had launched just a few weeks prior.
Yeah.
This is what they
Yeah.
caught on camera.
Semper. What does that even mean? Tell me.
Vamos a transmitir en vivo.
I mean the name. I know what your comment means.
A ver, ¿qué?
At the time that Les was recording this video, she was still unsure what it was that she was looking at. It had this bizarre circular pattern, and at times, it seemed to glow from within the clouds.
There we go. Richie, welcome back in.
It was all fun and games until they start realizing that whatever this thing is, it's possibly not a strobe light coming from the ground. Now a bit creeped out, they continue on recording just in case, and this is what happens next.
We only attract the smart people around here. Say.
¿Qué es eso?
See, that's one of the more compelling pieces of footage because there's no sound. It's not like they're at some concert and they're seeing some light show in the sky or some drone show or something. It's completely fucking silent. It's craziness.
Now completely creeped out, Les and her friends are pretty sure that whatever this thing is possibly not of this world. If we take a quick look at the video, it becomes quite clear that whatever this thing is, it's shining from behind or within the clouds, as if it's trying to hide for some mysterious reason.
Exactly, Christo.
This, for instance, is how a strobe light will look like from the ground. And as you can see, there's a streak of light that's always visible, which is not the case in this video. Now, what makes things even stranger is the fact that the following months, there were many other sightings. It was as if there was some sort of party going on and we were not invited.
Não, você é doido. De algum lugar. Não, eu vou pegar e levar pra casa.
Nossa, não tem linha não.
Lógico que tem. É, é via Bluetooth.
Deve ser igual.
Recorded from the 27th floor somewhere in Etobicoke, Ontario, Canada,
hey, that's where
we can see what looks like a cylinder-shaped object hovering
that's my
in the
city,
sky.
Etobicoke, Ontario. Fucking A.
Its speed and direction is pretty much consistent. It's as if there's something controlling it. Not only that, in the very beginning of the video, we can see what looks like a cloaked object move upwards very quickly. On May 2023, just 1 year prior, something very similar was seen in Texas. Check this out. After being posted to social media, the video caught a lot of attention and most internet users were divided. Some believe that this is some sort of flying humanoid, while others state that this is just a paraglider. However, if this were to be the case, there should be a visible parachute, which there isn't. If we replay the video a couple of times, it becomes very clear that this thing is flying at a consistent speed and direction, which would mean it's not falling down. But this would only be possible unless there's some sort of propulsion system. So this is either a jetpack or it's something else. However, jetpacks look like this or they look like this. So not only does this thing not look like a jetpack, it kind of looks like it's morphing at certain moments. Not only that, jetpacks don't fly that high nor for that long. So whatever this thing is, it has to be something else entirely. Something maybe similar to what was seen in Monterrey, Mexico back in 2006, a phenomenon known as the Bruja of Monterrey. Back at the time, jetpacks were not something you'd see flying around. So I want to know your take. Do you think that there's possibly something unknown to man hiding somewhere up there?
Okay, I'm back.
Or is this all just a big coincidence? And have you ever seen anything like this before?
Oh man, we were warned about Dick Cheney long time ago. Yeah, man.
¿Quieres un trabajo a distancia que te guste y bien pagado? ¿Qué harías si te dijera que lo puedes conseguir con Triple Ten? Es un boot.
Purra.
Now, I'm not exactly sure if you're the type of person that likes going to the beach, traveling, that sort of thing. But there's one particular place in the world that everyone must visit at least once or twice. And that would be Cozumel in Mexico.
Nadie aquí. Ahora vean.
With a population of...
The thing about war is, guys, it makes so much American money. It makes so much fucking American money because they hold all the steel. As a matter of fact, Swiss steel for the next 10 years has been pre-bought, pre-owned by the American car industry. So and the car industry sells that steel to the military. The military then sells that steel at a real high markup to the countries that it's going to war with.
Just about 100,000 people, Cozumel is often known for its scuba diving spots filled with crystal clear waters, vibrant coral reefs, and Mayan ruins. So as you can imagine, this is exactly the type of place that you'd feel as if you're in a Leonardo DiCaprio movie.
The beach.
Julio 2024. No había nadie aquí. Ahora vean.
But recently, Cozumel became the center of attention, only this time not for its beauty, but because of something far more sinister. Just about a month ago, a series of mysterious sinkholes appeared along the island's pristine beaches. It wasn't just one or two, it was 12 of them. So as you can imagine, this left tourists and locals pretty much scared. After being posted to the internet, the videos caught widespread attention, and it didn't take long before there were dozens of crazy theories like underground tunnels and things of such. However, experts and researchers quickly shrugged it off as naturally occurring springs. Now, I'm pretty sure that they know what they're talking about, being that there was a massive storm nearby and springs are indeed influenced by waterfall, but still, it doesn't explain certain things. For instance, while researching the internet, I found no records of something like this ever happening in Cozumel before.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's such a common occurrence, why are there no other videos or articles about this?
Man.
Not only that,
Especially
the next
war
day
politics,
the springs completely
circular
vanished into
logic,
thin air as if they
arguments
were
that go
never there.
6 de
nowhere,
julio del 2024, un ojo de agua que estaba
and
brotando
public debates
muchísima
that go
agua,
nowhere as well.
justo enfrente
Nowhere.
del portal
It doesn't
Maya,
matter
pues
what the
miren,
votes are.
es aquí,
It
era
matters
aquí,
who's in power.
aquí estaba exactamente el ojo de
The
agua,
president
vean,
has
se tapó, ya no hay
no
nada.
One of the things
power.
that caught loads of attention was how perfectly round they looked, as if they were artificially made, or at least this is what a lot of people were pointing out.
Sí, entiendo.
And to make things even
Chris,
weirder,
how you
that
feeling?
same week it also
Come on
happened
over.
at Carmen Beach.
En
Fucking
Playa
summer.
del Carmen. Sí, amigos,
Last 2 days I've
justamente
been here just
frente a
editing,
Playita del Carmen
editing,
tenemos
editing,
un
editing.
ojo de agua muy parecido al de Cozumel.
And other countries. Strange, isn't it? So what's really going on here? What's your take? Could it be that these are just naturally occurring water springs, or is there possibly an unseen and unknown reason behind all of this? Now, I don't know about you, but when I was younger, I used to think about time travel all the time. Is it actually possible, and does it already exist somewhere in the future? And is there any evidence of such a thing?
Stephen Curry, and in 10 years, I'll be with my dad, and we'll be watching you.
That's a creepy thing.
Well,
That
maybe there is, and I'm about to show you guys the best video evidence of the possible existence of time travel.
Yeah, man.
But before we go on, let me explain exactly how was it that time travel became such a trending topic in the past 100 years.
Hundos, everybody, let's see
In
the hundos.
1935, a Royal Air Force Marshal named Sir Robert Victor was flying over a disused airbase in East Scotland. The airbase had been empty for years, and it was while flying over it on a very rainy day that Sir Robert noticed something odd. While flying through a thick cloud, the rain completely vanished and the sky turned blue. At first, Sir Robert didn't know what to make of it, but it was when he looked down that he saw as if the airbase had shifted right in front of his eyes. The airbase was all of a sudden fully operational with people dressed in blue and several yellow airplanes parked on the runway.
What do you mean?
At this point, Sir Robert was very much confused, and years later, he wrote a book about it. Now, what happened to Sir Robert is considered as a time slip, and it's a very strange phenomenon where people supposedly experience time travel for a brief period of time.
Oh, yeah, man. This is about time travel. He's got a lot of material on time travel. Keep watching.
For instance, in this particular video supposedly recorded in the 1980s, a reporter comes across an iPhone 13 that was locked inside of a drawer. And at first, this video was considered as a possible time slip, but later on, the original uploader changed the description stating that the video was actually a TV series that was recorded in the early 2000s.
So it doesn't matter.
But because there's very little information about it, I guess, we'll never know.
Where are we at? We were still at fucking...
Now, what makes Sir Robert's
Nokia
story
phones.
different and very much credible is the fact that the airplanes back in 1935 were silver in color, but in 1939, they began painting them yellow and Navy personnel began dressing blue, which is exactly what Sir Robert saw that day. But here's the thing, after Sir Robert's incident, there were many others, and some were actually caught on camera. In this video recorded during a TV show from the 1980s, a woman can be seen holding what looks like a smartphone, and with it, she seems to be recording something in landscape mode. Then just moments...
See, what could that possibly be? There were devices in the 80s, but nothing that small. And why are they looking at it? She's flipping it over from land. I've seen this video many times. Flipping it from landscape to portrait, and the young girl's seeing what has just been recorded. Obviously recorded, because she's intently looking at something, recording something. This is a weird one.
Afterwards, she switches the phone to portrait orientation to review whatever it was that she had recorded.
I guess he saw the exact same thing that I did.
This is insane. There were no phones that looked like this back in the 1980s. So what is going on here? Just so you have an idea, the first LED touchscreen phone that actually looked like this was invented by LG and it was named Prada. It was released on December 12, 2006, almost 30 years
2006.
after this footage was taken. The creepy thing about this video is that if we slow-mo and zoom in, it actually looks as if this could be some sort of touchscreen phone. Strange, isn't it? But it
Doesn't matter
gets
if it
even
looks like a
stranger in
touchscreen
this
phone.
next
It's
video
obviously a
uploaded by History and
device.
Color YouTube
And I don't know
channel.
if you guys remember what the small little portable radios and things like that looked like in the 80s. They were fucking big. Remember the phones in the late 80s? The size of a Samsonite suitcase.
The video was originally recorded in the 1930s, somewhere in Amsterdam, and in it, we can see bits and pieces of how life was back in the 1930s.
Hey, so
Everything seems to be as it should. This is until a specific scene where we can see a woman coming out of a shop. She seems to be holding what looks like a mobile phone, and if we slow-mo and zoom in, it seems as if she's actually talking to someone. Now, being that the first mobile phone was invented in the 1970s, it would be quite impossible for such a thing to happen. But it doesn't stop there. In a video posted by ScoopView YouTube channel, a woman can be seen coming out of a DuPont factory in Massachusetts. She also seems to be holding a mobile phone of some sort. Needless to say, the video caught a lot of attention, and while some believe that this is possibly proof of time travel, others think that this is just a small portable radio or some sort of hearing instrument from the 1930s. The only problem is, it doesn't look anything like the hearing instruments that they had back at the time, and the small portable radios weren't that small.
Yeah, they're massive. Look at the size of those things. But I have noticed...
I quickly began researching the internet just to find out if DuPont was by any chance developing wireless phones back in the 1930s.
I have noticed one thing about those types of videos, those old school videos where it's time travel. If you go to Google and you look at some of the earliest footage of San Francisco and New York, right? It's recently been turned into color. But you'll see a lot of people going down the street with this sort of gesture. I don't know why, but you'll see a lot of people kind of doing this gesture on either side of their... It's sometimes like as they're passing a shop, they're going to do that to not be recognized, because everyone wore black back in those days. Black hats, that was it. Yeah, man, I wish you all the very best too, man. Fucking A right, man. We're all in this together. That's why I say, like, you know, some people in America, when their president doesn't win, they get all up in arms about it. It's like, no, accept it. It's only 4 years. Accept it. You'll have another chance to vote in 4 years. Agree with the sitting president. You have no choice, guys. You have to agree with that person says. Have to. I talk to a lot of, I live in Toronto, Canada. And I talk to a lot of Russian folks, lots of Russians where I come from. And they all love Putin. And I said, like, one bartender, still a really good friend of mine, Svetlana, I asked her, what is your attraction to Putin? Like, why do you love him so much? She says, I don't love what he does. I don't love the war he brings, but he's the leader of our country and we have to respect him. And I was just like, that's exactly how I feel. Like, I wasn't too excited when Obama was the president. I thought he was a fucking vagina and a half. I kind of respect him now because he did a great job. He didn't, the whole Obamacare thing, like, he tried, sure. But, like, no war, very minimal, if any at that. So it's all gravy to me. Anyway, let's get back to it. Because 20 minutes from now, you know what? After this video, I got to finish this.
30s, and I found absolutely nothing. Not only that, the first transistor was not invented up until 1947.
I don't know if you're down for it, Chris, but it's the last full moon for like 20 fucking days. And I got all the equipment charged up, ready to go. I'm going to the beach. If you felt up for it, man, fuck, I'd love some company. My reminder just came on as well. There is a full moon tonight.
And the first wireless phones that were developed in the 1980s were heavy and huge as bricks. So whatever's going on here, this could actually be video evidence of time travel.
No, that gesture,
but it doesn't stop there.
So much.
It just gets stranger and stranger. In this
There's
next video posted to YouTube of
there's
a Mike Tyson
really cool documentary, Chris, and it's on another streaming site called what is it called now? I forget. But it's this series actually of documentaries. This guy gets into he gets into really crazy subjects. But there's this one documentary where he has the opportunity of to interview a guy that's a self-proclaimed time traveler. And his story was in the news when he showed up to Earth. He was caught in a store, in a department store, trying to take clothes and water and just bare necessities. And he just tried to walk out with him out of the store. And he was stopped by security and he was very confused. And he says, well, where I come from, we don't pay there's no real money. You take what you need. And he's like, where exactly do you come from? You sound like you're from America. And he's like, well, indeed, I'm from America. I'm a time traveler. And the guy didn't have one lick of hair on his body. No eyebrows, no eyelashes, no stubble, nothing. And so when the guy actually gets the interview, the guy is so paranoid, absolutely paranoid. And he finally meets him in this park and says, I don't want your recording devices anywhere near me. There's too much radiation. And he goes on to say that this is like the best and the worst time for mankind because the radiation hasn't taken you over yet. Yeah, man, I feel you, man. Rest up. Such a shame. The radiation is so intense that nobody grows hair from the day they're born. Even in the birth canal, it's just like not a thing anymore. There's just so much radiation. And he was saying that this is the turning point. Your generation right now, you are putting these devices in your pockets and you're giving all your faith to the powers that be. He's like, this is what takes us. And the guy asked him, who said that? Somebody nice to meet you, good person. Oh man, make sure you get me on the follow. You're a cool guy, or subscribe, whatever. It's only about half an hour long, but they run his DNA. His DNA does not match no records, fingerprints, birth certificates, absolutely nothing. And then they get the results back from blood tests that are searching for chemicals and things like that he's saying are kind of in him because of because of exposure, basically. And they get the results back. Everything that he said about his blood was absolutely true. They go back to the area to meet the guy again, and the landlord says he's been gone for weeks and we haven't seen him. All his stuff is here, all his gear, everything's still here. He hasn't paid his rent and he's just uppity and left. And it was like right after that interview that they did. And this guy, there's something about looking into a camera and speaking, right? I was telling you about this the other day. You can barely lie to your audience for extended amounts of time. People are going to find out what you're talking about. Oh yeah. No, I know that, dude. No. Dengue you're going to be sick for 48 hours, man. Just rest up, lots of water, as much as you can muster. I know putting anything in your body right now must suck, but go to that chicken pollo place tomorrow in the afternoon and get some chicken soup. Really helped my mom when she had dengue because her appetite was zero. What I did also is I grabbed the chicken soup and then I grabbed some of that deep fried KFC and ate all the skin and then took off the KFC and put it in the soup all with the oil. Ooh, baby.
Fight that happened back in 1995, we can see what looks like a woman holding a smartphone.
He got away from prior to prison. Customato once told him your greatest asset can become your greatest weakness. So he's been working a great deal on his business.
At the time the video was uploaded to YouTube, it caught a lot of attention and many internet users were saying that this is just a Kodak camera or maybe a Casio camera. Which in this case, it could be, even though the footage isn't quite clear, so it makes it really hard to tell what it is that we're looking at. But when it comes to time travel caught on camera, things just get stranger and stranger. In this next video posted by The Human Coffee, a boy can be seen coming up to Stephen Curry back in the early 2000s and telling him how he would be really big one day and that he would be watching him. Now notice that he's wearing a Golden State Warrior caught on camera. It's really hard to tell. In this case, it could be either a Kodak camera or maybe a Casio camera. We're saying at the time the video 1995, we can see what looks like a woman holding a smartphone.
He got away from prior to prison.
Does that look like a smartphone? What else could that be? It said 1980s? 1995. 1995.
Amato once told him your greatest asset can become your greatest weakness.
You know, to me, that looks like a newspaper.
So he's been working.
It caught a shine.
You can see what looks like a woman holding a smartphone.
He got away from prior
At the beginning, the moment it comes into focus, you'll see it shine a little bit. Let's take a real good look.
to prison. Amato
So it's got some plastic on the top there, 100%.
greatest asset
It keeps hitting that.
can become your greatest weakness.
Huh. That is curious. I've never seen this piece of footage.
So he's been working a great deal on his grip at the past few months.
At the time the video was uploaded to YouTube, it caught a lot of attention and many internet users were saying that this is just a Kodak camera or maybe a Casio camera. Which in this case, it could be, even though the footage isn't quite clear, so it makes it really hard to tell what it is that we're looking at. But when it comes to time travel caught on camera, things just get stranger and stranger.
In
this next video posted by The Human Coffee, a boy can be seen coming up to Stephen Curry back in the early 2000s and telling him how he would be really big one day and that he would be watching him.
This is in Toronto. This is my hometown. Toronto, Etobicoke, they're cities that are right next to each other. It goes Toronto, Etobicoke, Mississauga. And I was on the border of Mississauga and Etobicoke, which was the first piece of footage we saw for this video here. But this is before Curry was, hang on, what was that? That's a cell phone with a camera flash, dude. Do you really think so? In 1995? Nope. The first phone that came out with a camera was well into the 2000s, my guy. Well into the 2000s. 2003, 2004. He showed you the Casio camera that it could have been. And that's a possibility, but as you can see clearly, it was a square lens on the top of it, whatever it was completely square, and the flashing was happening over here. But to me, it looked like that top section was a glossier plastic than the bottom section, and that just kept hitting a reflection. This video, this was on a commercial back in the day, and the T-shirt the kid is wearing didn't come out fucking 10 years later.
This is we can see what looks like a woman holding a smartphone.
He got away from prior to prison.
Okay, it looks rather square to me. And watch the flash. Watch that thing. It's still white. It's not like an actual flash. It's just a reflection.
Amato once told him your greatest asset can become your greatest weakness.
And the cameras back in those days didn't do that 3 flash thing that our phone does today in order to get rid of red eye reduction. And that was a 3 flasher. So it's impossible. I think it's a reflection, but you'll never know. Could be a fucking time traveler, right? What is that black line under her fingers?
Amato once told him your greatest asset can become your greatest weakness.
I don't know. It's a weird piece of footage. I'm not holding a candle to anything. It just looks fucked up.
So he's been working a great deal on his grip at the past few months.
At the time the video was uploaded to YouTube, it caught a lot of attention.
But watch what this kid says.
Time travel caught on. In this next video posted in 2000s and telling him how he would be really big one day and that he would be watching him. Now notice that he's wearing a Golden State Warriors t-shirt that did not exist back at the time.
Yeah.
Pay very close attention.
Stephen Curry? Your dad played in the NBA? I bet you want to be just like him. I came back to tell you something. You'll practice hard, and you will be. And in 10 years, I'll be with my dad, and we'll be watching you.
That's some
Strange, isn't
shit.
it? After doing a quick research, I found out that this is possibly a commercial that was aired for the Golden State
was a
Warriors back in
commercial.
2011. The only problem is
I
they
watched it
never
on
explained
television
how they
100
did it.
times.
And after being uploaded to
But I
YouTube,
didn't
the video
think of it-
caught
I
a
didn't
lot of
think it was
attention and
mysterious.
internet users were totally divided. Some believe that this is computer generated and that the boy was inserted into the video. Others think
Where is
that
the
this is
flash
possibly one of the best video evidence of time travel. And well, maybe it is.
That video-
I came back to tell you something.
Some internet users pointed out that they actually saw this video before it became a commercial, which is kind of strange. Not only that, there's something even stranger that was pointed out by an internet user, and he says,
How would you see it before it came out?
for your information, this is post
Internet was,
Steph
like,
getting
just
drafted to the
becoming a
Warriors
thing.
by 3 years. But the implications of Steph being a leader of the Warriors also seem to be implied, which I don't think happened yet as of the age of the commercial. In other words, Stephen Curry only became a big star in the NBA between 2014 and 2015, which would mean that this commercial was made before that. So even if it was planned, CGI and all that, how did they know? There's also the fact that at the time this commercial was released, it was not possible to do such a thing with artificial intelligence. Not only that, Stephen Curry and his dad seem to acknowledge the presence of the boy, which would mean that this is either one of the best commercials ever made in terms of computer editing, or this is possibly the real deal. But I guess that we'll never know. Now, when it comes to time travel, there are many more videos, such as this one, where a man apparently saves himself from an accident.
Oh,
To this day, no one knows exactly why both men look alike, and why
Oh,
one of them knew
shit.
that something was going to
It's
happen.
him. Saying,
Some
watch out,
theorize
y'all.
that this
You're
is
about
a
to get
person that
fucked.
went back in time to save himself from this possible incident.
Are you heading off, man?
In this next video, recorded in the 1970s, a man can be seen wearing clothing way ahead of his time, and everyone noticed it.
And the booming wool braved the frigid wintry blasts of zero weather, dressed in everything from earmuffs to such mysterious get-ups as this. Hiya, stranger.
Now, when it comes to time travel, there are several videos and photographs that we could analyze, but the real
love that
question
photo.
is, does time travel exist somewhere in the future? And are these videos and photographs possible evidence of such a thing?
Whoa.
What's your
That was
take?
Radcliffe.
Están
100%.
confirmando que no van a ser partidistas.
Everybody's doing a brand new dance now. Come on, baby, do the locomotion. I know you can do.
Actually, I have
More
a
than
photo
100 years ago, in
on my
1911,
Instagram
a group of miners were digging
of
at a
this
site in
guy,
Nevada known as
random fucking
Lovelock
guy.
Cave. They had been digging for days
But
looking
when I
for
saw the
bat
video,
guano,
I was
a
like,
highly valued fertilizer
that
at the
could be
time,
me.
but instead,
Like
they found something
1000%.
truly unexplained. What appeared to be giant skeletons and artifacts of unknown origin were scattered throughout the cave, and at the time, this was considered so fringe that it ended up featured in several articles and outlets. Normally, this discovery would have gone unnoticed, if not for the fact that the Paiute native tribe had an entire legend about red-haired giants inhabiting this very cave thousands of years ago.
Wow.
Now, because of this, what was once considered just a bad time story became one of the biggest mysteries of all time. Were giants alive in the past? And are they still alive today? Now, for some mysterious reason, in the past few years, there have been dozens of sightings of supposed giant beings.
I love giants. That's
Canada,
going to be one of my next playlists. Going to be the moon first and then giants.
Mexico,
Giants are fucking real. I don't care what anybody says.
Thailand, and many other places.
There was one very
And just a
recent
few
case
weeks ago, something truly
Canada.
bizarre happened in São Tomé das Letras. Now, São Tomé is a small town located in the state of Minas Gerais, Brazil, and it is widely known for its mysteries.
Hi, galera.
Brazil has so much shit in the skies, man. Creepy animals we've never
Sightings.
seen, giants, large fires with large beings next to them.
And
You just
unexplained
saw.
phenomena.
Look at the size
And
of
it
that
was
animal.
while touring the town that a group of friends noticed what looked like a giant
Size of
being.
this guy is the size
And
of the
this
tree.
is what they caught on camera.
Tem um cara gigante ali, ó.
Fala assim,
Cara
ó.
do tamanho da árvore.
Tá vendo?
O sol não apareceu.
No mames.
Gigante.
That's
Lá no
perfect.
Cara do tamanho da árvore,
It
galera.
looks like a human being.
In the video, we can see what at first looks like a very tall person in the
O
distance.
sol não apareceu, vai
Olha aqui. Olha
Wow.
olha aqui embaixo o tamanho dos
That
caras.
is
Olha o tamanho
so
do cara.
Brazil, bro.
Olha o cara, olha o cara.
At first, I thought it could be an optical illusion, and I guessed that most people thought the same thing. It's when they zoom in that it becomes quite clear that this is possibly not some sort of illusion. If you take a look at the trees, they don't seem far from the person being recorded. Not only that, in a second video that they uploaded, we can see the person walking side by side with the trees, and this person still looks as if it's 8 to 9 feet tall.
Where did you find a shirt like that?
Olha pra você ver o tamanho do cara.
Not only that, the group of people and everyone around them seemed legit creeped out by what they were seeing.
O tamanho do cara, 3 km de distância.
After being uploaded to the internet, the video caught a lot of attention, and most people seem to think that this is an optical illusion. And well, it could be. But the problem is, most people can't seem to explain how this optical illusion is happening. And I guess that this is because both the person and the trees are not in different optical planes. Not only that, São Tomé das Letras isn't exactly your typical place. For instance, it's only 30 miles away from the Varginha UFO crash that supposedly happened in 1996, where it is said that the Brazilian military captured an alien.
No.
It's also
No, it hasn't been said the military captured an alien. 2 young girls in the 90s found the alien in their backyard, brought it inside their home, tried to feed it, tried to talk to it, before the entire small town in Brazil was inundated with helicopters and choppers, and then they broke into the home, captured the alien, took it, and killed it. That's the official fucking story.
also known as a UFO hotspot, where people usually see luminous objects going into caves and never coming back.
I love the end of a bag of chips.
There are also several magnetic anomalies and supposed entrances to a mythological place known as Agartha, or Hollow Earth. There are many caves that have been shut by the military for unknown reasons. So I'm not exactly sure about this one. I want to know your take. Do you think that this is just an optical illusion, or is there something else going on here? Now, when it comes to bizarre and unexplained things caught on camera, it doesn't stop there. On August 2024, an internet account by the name of Tins was somewhere in Perth, Australia, when all of a sudden she decided to record a plane that was flying by. And this is what happened.
Let's see, 1, 2.
Did you see that? As she begins to record the video, we can see what looks like 2 or 3 orbs around the plane. Then, as she pans the camera to the right, we can see what looks like a really bizarre anomaly in the sky.
That's a reflection.
After posting the video to social media, it amassed thousands of views and hundreds of comments, and people were completely baffled. While some believe that she was possibly recording from behind of a window and that this is just a reflection, most seem to agree that there's something really strange about the entire video. What are these orbs, and what is this massive glitch or object in the sky? Some suggest that for some mysterious reason, she was able to catch a glimpse of another dimension or alternate reality. Others stated that this could be a massive ship of some sort that was hiding in the clouds. Now, I'm not exactly sure that this is what's going on, but I can't seem to find any other explanation. But when it comes to unexplained phenomena, it just gets stranger and stranger. Just a couple of months ago, most TV cameras were pointed at the World Wrestling SmackDown that was happening in North Carolina. Everything was going as it should, up until the moment that someone in the audience notices something very odd about Montez Ford. Check this out.
Exclusive items and so much
glitching. Wow. In Toronto again. 3 Toronto videos.
Monte's Ford appears to glitch or freeze for some mysterious reason. And this isn't just 10 to 20 seconds, this is minutes long.
Wow. It's so funny how sports figures and sports commentators.
Now what's really strange
They
about
do
this
this a
video
lot.
is that if we slow-mo and
They glitch.
replay it a couple of times, you'll see how it really looks like
There's
Monte's
one
Ford
video of
isn't
Shaq
even breathing.
glitching. Dude, my tongue is on fire. There's one video of
He's
Shaq
not moving
glitching. It is
at all.
weird.
Now, what's
yo.
even
He's
stranger is that this
a
isn't
weird
the
guy
first time
already,
such a thing
but the way
happens.
he glitched,
There
he
are
was like,
many other videos of artists,
right
players,
into the
and
camera.
TV hosts
Look at him.
glitching the same way.
Look at that. She's even
To this
using her
day, there's
throat.
very little explanation. And TV hosts
Look at him.
glitching any other videos of artists.
Eminem, do you see that?
Is that this isn't
Eminem
the
is just bored.
first time such a thing happens. There are
Eminem, look at him.
many other videos of artists.
This one is creepy. I paused it. I'll hit play right now. Look at the guy on the left moving.
Players, and TV hosts glitching the same way.
Her, before she makes that noise, her eyebrow moves. Like she's watching.
To this day, there's very little explanation to why this happens. Some theorize that it may have something to do with MK Ultra, a supposed secret program focused on research.
Do you know about MK Ultra, Chris? You still there? No, cancel. No, you're not there anymore. Okay. That's pretty much me saying goodnight then. Come on, baby, do the locomotion. Come on, baby, do the locomotion. Okay, anyway, guys, that's it for me. Again, thank you for watching the Trump speech with me. I wanted to kind of continue on this paranormal kick as well, so I decided to watch this video again. I love you. Be good. Keep your stick on the ice. And remember, until next time, bye.